Episode 26. Clean home equals wasted life.
You're listening to the very best podcast in the world on health, wealth, and happiness. Please remember to leave a review and share with all your friends and family. And here is your host, Lars Hilser.
It is the 26th episode of the very best podcast in the world. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, friends, family, acquaintances. Welcome to an episode, the long text of which should be, there's a clean home. I think it's a clean home as a sign of a wasted life or something like that. And that's only partially true. Sorry to have attention grabbed you by the title. And let's get started, shall we? What I mean by this sentence is, or this topic is that you shouldn't have cockroaches running around, and nor should your abode look like a horde of horny teenagers that ransacked the place for weed. Instead, it's more about those people who attempt to keep their place as tidy and as displayable in a way that you would only see it in home improvement magazines or brochures, right? You know those people. Everything has to be meticulous, and even if they go on vacation, the place has to be clean. For me, that was always, people who did that cleaned up for the burglars, which might potentially maybe break in, while, in all honesty, you should just put your valuables in the place where they easily find it so that they just don't take your place apart. At least that's what I did when I had valuables. So the point is that there's got to be a balance. There's got to be a middle ground, right? On the one hand, again, as I said, you don't want to have cockroaches running around. So, you should put all of those scrap food leftovers away in the trash. And on the other hand, however, you don't want to go overboard keeping your place clean. Now, what in the fucking hell does this have to do with anything in regards to personal supremacy, health, wealth, or happiness? In actual fact, a whole lot. Because if you don't clean up, you're going to get, the cooties, for a lack of better terms. If you clean up too much, and if you're constantly busy cleaning up, you're wasting a significant part of your life, which you could use to make money. So we've got the health aspect covered. We've got the wealth aspect covered. And the happiness bit is, as always, in a balanced situation, right? And now that we've had that covered, we might as well just, close the door and that's it. No. Still, you're going to need to do cleaning. You're going to need to do laundries. You're going to need to do chores. And we already had that, I think, in the lesson 1 of the maximizing personal productivity, which was about the time that you're using to do these kind of stupid chores. Use them wisely to educate yourself through, podcasts, radio shows, audiobooks, whatever, so the time isn't entirely wasted. And yeah, it's kind of rewarding to have a clean place, but if it's always spick and span, I don't know, I feel weirdly uncomfortable in places like that, be it my own. When the cleaning lady was there, and it's like, just clean the shower. You don't want to use it, right? So you forfeit personal hygiene. You do the smell test in your armpit, and you're like, oh, okay, I'm good for another day, because then it's like you would make the just clean shower dirty. So the entire concept is like weird. For me, it was for a really long time, because I never in my life had I, really any cleaning to do. When I was a teenager, I was a pig, for lack of better words. And I was very lucky that, my mother would always victimize herself to take care of the of everything. Then came the years that I was traveling. So I don't know, probably about up north of 95% of the year I would spend in hotels or in apartments rented for me by people that had contracted my services. So I never really had to do anything. Same was for laundry. When I started this life, I was like, my better half was like, oh, here's the washing machine. I'm like, yeah, I'm familiar with the concept, but I never really used it because, as a suit wearer, you bring your shit to the dry cleaners, and they do your shirts as well, better than you ever could. And you pay them a little money and you're good to go. So for me, a clean home was always like, yeah. It's like, yeah. I don't know. You call the hotel restaurant, you order food. Next morning when you go out to work, you come back at night, plate is gone, everything's clean, everything's tidy. And it was like, you got so used to it that it was like normal, and freakingly fast. It became normal. And yeah, interesting bit. So I never had really to use that time. However, when I went into this life, it switched. And it was like, okay, we had this agreement, my better half goes out to work. I don't need to work anymore. And instead of that, I've got plenty of time on my hands. I'll do the shitty chores. And that was like a shitty agreement. I would only later find out because it's just so freaking time consuming. And so, as I mentioned in the other episode, what was it? Was it like 20? It should be episode 20. I don't know. If you want to look, just go back. And, it's like doing the laundry and the cleaning bit, which the cleaning lady doesn't do. And, all of that kind of crap. And the dishwasher and the cooking and the washing up after cooking. That's the bitch about cooking, really. Cooking is fun. The washing up is like really badass. Yeah, you can put everything in the dishwasher, get the concept. But if you use professional pots, you can't because they'll just start to fuck up. And that's something for, I don't know, healthy cooking. Look up podcasts for that. They'll tell you in more detail than I ever could. Long story short, thing is, again, middle ground, which is acceptable to yourself. And that's the most important thing, which we have to get into as well. Don't give a flying fuck if anybody else, I don't know, rumps up their nose and says, it's kind of icky here. If it's not dirty and hygienically responsible, I don't give a fuck. As long as there's no critters running around, I'm good. And as long as there's a certain amount of cleanliness, it's okay. It doesn't have to be perfect. Far from it. Because again, you have to understand the most important thing. Number one, it's for yourself. And if anybody comes to your place that doesn't like it, show them where the door is. It's as simple as that. And number two, when you go overboard with certain people cleaning on top of everywhere and under rugs and whatnot every single day, it's like, what do you expect? You get visitors and they look under the rug for dirt. There's surely a lot of sick people out there, but I haven't come across those. And if they find dirt, I'll just show them the door, and that's good. Now, we've had the ego thing where you just say, well, let's start at the beginning. We got the middle ground. No cockroaches. On the other hand, no home improvement brochure. We've had the ego thing where you have to be comfortable. It's not about anybody else. It's about you. And never should you have yourself pushed down the road of having other people attempt to define your fucking comfort zone, because it's yours. In that sense, good night. Leave your hands above the blanket. If you are west of me, good morning. Have a successful day. Tell me about your day if you have questions, comments, feedback. shoot it to the very best podcast in the world at gmail.com. And tomorrow we're going to be talking about saving money and why that's not necessarily always a good thing. Peace out.